Hey everybody, it's Steve, Chief Paralegal here at Broaden Law Firm. In this video, we're going to look at how to run a basic federal trademark search for jewelry. Before we get started, let's take a bird's eye view of the trademark registration process. First is the search, then the application, which is reviewed by an examining attorney with the government. This examining attorney is checking to make sure that your mark does not create a likelihood of confusion. Those are going to be our buzzwords, likelihood of confusion, in the marketplace with a previously registered trademark. I point this out because it does not take an exact match of your desired trademark to justify a rejection of your application. Okay, so earlier I used a random word generator and got enigmatic. So that's going to be the name of our jewelry line. The first step is to go to the uspto.gov, and I will include links to all of this in the comment section below. Then click Trademarks, TESS, Basic Word Mark Search, and this is our search screen. So first thing you want to do here is click Live. We don't care about dead marks. And then just enter your word in the search field. Now, we're going to see that there's only one result that we get for enigmatic, and you can see that it's for wine. So if you saw this, you might think, there's only one result, it's for wine, enigmatic for jewelry is going to be fine. But if you remember back to what I said earlier, it doesn't take an exact match to justify denial of your application. So now what we want to do is expand our search, broaden it. So let's go back. One way we can broaden our search is through the use of the asterisk. If you could take one thing away from this video, using the asterisk is something you got to do. What it tells the software is look for anything that comes after this. So here we click Submit, and we get 54 records. Now you'll notice that some of these have a registration number and some of them don't. This could be for one of two reasons. Either these are recently applied for trademarks, or an examining attorney has issued an office action. An office action can mean a couple of things. One, it can mean they're pointing out a likelihood of confusion, or two, there could be a problem with the paperwork. We'll look more in depth in just a little bit as to how to investigate office actions. But for now, we've got 54 records. What if we wanted to whittle this down a little bit? Well, this is where we want to use Freeform. Click Freeform. Here you can see I've already got the search set up for us. Let's go through it. First thing we do is enter our phrase just like we had in the previous search box. This time we're going to put MI in brackets. MI stands for mark index. It tells the software this is the mark we're looking for. Then write AND, which tells the software also look for marks that are live, LD, and marks that are in class 014. IC stands for International Class, and 14 is the International Class for jewelry. To hear me go way more in depth about the types of classes you want to look in when running a jewelry search, click on this link right here. But for now, let's just run this search. Okay, 2 records. Sure enough, one is Enigma. So let's click on it, and we'll see it's for jewelry. So if I was running this search for my own company, I would stop right here. This is definitely going to cause a likelihood of confusion in the marketplace with enigmatic. But while we've got the time, let's go back because I think this one's a good learning lesson. You can see here this word mark, GB Enigma. Now it makes sense that somebody might think, okay, there's an Enigma out there, but if I put GB in front of it, I should be able to register it, right? Well, again, the examining attorney is trying to prevent a likelihood of confusion in the marketplace, and I could understand the argument that somebody might think that this is just a type of this type of jewelry. That is to say, if Enigma was software, this would just be a different version of that software. But let's investigate it. We'll click on this mark and see why it's not registered. Go to TSDR, go to Documents, go to Office Action. Scroll down. And sure enough, here it is. Likelihood of confusion with Enigma. So to reiterate, if at first you don't see an exact match for your trademark, broaden your search. We can broaden our search in 2 ways. First, we can broaden the classes. Like I mentioned, check out that class video and you'll know that not only do we want to look in class 14, which is jewelry, we want to look in class 3.5, which is retail store services, class 4.2, which used to be retail store services, also in class 2.5, which is clothing, also in class 1.8, which is handbags. After you've done that, you can tear apart your original word even more by moving around the asterisks. For instance, you can put it at the front and we can look at Matic and click Submit, 26 records, and then we would go through these. The idea of conducting the trademark search is to get a broad view of the landscape and see what type of trademarks are out there. So as you can see, this is why using an attorney like Josh really starts to pay dividends. Josh works day in and day out with examining attorneys, and through that experience, he's developed an expertise to know what the government will reject or accept. Finally, before I go, I just want to go over some limitations of this video. It is just a brief overview, but I hoped it helped to familiarize you with the USPTO and get you started on your search process. At Gerben Law Firm, we use professional grade search software, which allows us to go way more in depth into these types of searches. Second, it doesn't cover state or common law searches, which is part of a comprehensive search that you want to run in order to ensure no legal trouble down the road. And third, it's not legal advice and is not a substitute for talking with an attorney. But thank you very much for watching, and because each trademark search is unique, you can check out some of my other trademark search videos, which should help you even more through the process.